Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Hello and welcome back to the Arrow. And this is Varun here. And as I always do every Sunday, I have brought you another awesome human being who is fascinating. And the reason why I contacted her for this podcast is because I liked her tagline on her LinkedIn profile, which was "I like helping people." Normally, people write, "I am PhD, I am a doctor, I'm engineer, whatnot." But she just wrote, she likes helping people, and I said, well, let's talk to her. And when I came to know more about her, the most important thing she does is she manages people, she helps people, and she helps people to sort out their problems, their issues, be it emotional, personal, job wise, professional, whatever. So, Divya, welcome to the Arrow. And
Hello.
I would like you to give introduction of yourself to my viewers, please.
Yeah, sure. My name is Divya Raviraj, and I'm a typical corporate employee where I have around 8 years of experience in this corporate world. And I'm a Chennai. I'm born and brought up in Chennai, and I'm into people management for more than 3 years by now. My job role is more about handling people, just handling their mindset, enabling their mindset, help them achieve their targets. So this is all about a short description about myself.
Great. So I guess that today's podcast, when people will listen to it, they will also have a broader perspective of the things which they can change or they can think about changing in their life.
Yes.
So let's start already then. First of all, I always talk to my guests before calling them on this podcast, and I asked you that what are we going to talk about mainly, and you said that I want to talk about mainly self care and self growth.
Yes.
So first of all, tell me about what is self care for people who don't know. Maybe I don't know what self care is. So what is self care?
Mhm. People think usually when it comes to self care, people think that when I'm not in a good mood, like we go to a movie, when I'm not in a good mood, like we eat something that makes me happy. So people think that when their mood is down, they have to find a distraction, and they feel that okay, that distraction is called the self care. But self care is more of a self reflection from within, where we have to actually analyze who are we as a personality, what is our attitude towards life, are we really happy? How about our physical and emotional well-being? So we don't really care about it. So most of our self-care we think is something external. Okay, I have a pimple, let me go to a beauty parlor, or I have a white hair, let me go and treat it. So this is what we actually think is self-care. But self-care is more to do with internal than external.
I see. There is a quote. It's not my quote. I have read somewhere, probably even in your profile. I don't know. But the quote
Yeah.
says that there are 8 billion people on earth, and
Mm.
we talk to a million in our lifetime, but
Mm.
we never talk to ourselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. Sometimes I feel like we really feel fearful to face ourselves and emotions because we are not being taught about this in school or colleges that we have to face ourselves, right? So we have been accumulating our emotions for a long time, for 20 years, for 25 years, and for 30 years. And all of a sudden, if you say something to say, somebody to save yourself or to face your emotions, because they have not been into them for a long time, right? So if you all of a sudden tell them to save me, save my fears, save my anxiety, everybody starts running away from that.
I see. How will should you realize, or how a person should
Mm.
realize that he or she needs self care? First of all,
Yeah. Okay. So we think self care is a destination, but it is not a destination. It's a journey. Self-care is forever. Healing is forever. There is no destination for healing. There is no destination for self-care. It's a forever journey. And if somebody says that I have attained my 100% of the self-care, then there will be another 100% that will be waiting for them. So self-care is forever. It's a commitment. It's a marriage that we are doing for ourselves. Some people used to say like you can run from any complicated relationship, but not with yourself, because we cannot run away from ourselves. So obviously, since we cannot run away from ourselves forever, self-care is a commitment forever.
And yeah, still, how should I realize that I need self care?
Um, it starts with observation. Actually, sounds like a single word that observation can be done easily, but it is not so easy as such. We have to observe our own thoughts. We have to be so aware of what's going on inside. It is not so easy because when we are so into any of the emotional driven patterns, we would never be able to recognize that we need an awareness of that. Most of the actions that we do are auto programs. We don't do it consciously. For example, you get up from your bed, you go and brush your teeth, and then have your breakfast, and then go for your work, and then come and return, and then watch some Netflix, and then go to sleep. So it all became a pattern that it became a program in our mind. So
Hmm.
if we want to make that program or just to be aware that there is a program that is running behind it, we have to conduct everything consciously. So how can we make it very simply by asking some questions to us? For example, when you're actually sitting and you're scrolling your mobile or Instagram or whatever it may be, just ask a single question to you. What am I doing now? What am I doing now? When you ask this question to yourself, your mind will become immediately aware. Okay, this guy is asking me, what am I doing? Let me pick up the answer. So when it tries to pick up the answer, you'll be aware. You'll be aware. So every awareness starts with asking ourselves questions, questioning everything. Most of the time, we don't question certain things at all. So when we start questioning, we will be aware. Aware. So when we are aware, we can directly get into self-reflection. I mean, when we come into self-reflection, it is another form of, we call it as self-care.
You are absolutely right. There is a poem of William Wordsworth. I don't remember the whole thing, but I remember one line, and it says that there is no time to stand and stare. People are, I think, busy too much. Be it job, be their family, be their home. But apart from that, we still have at least 2 3 hours for ourselves. But no, I have so many lights, three computers, four screens, and one mobile, and I do not have time. And I made myself busy, and I do not have any time to observe myself. And
Mm,
yeah, I mean, it's scientifically, it is also true that first you have to observe to find out what the problem is. And when there is
absolutely.
problem, then only you can do experiments and again observe that if that experiment is working or not.
Yes, because most of the time, people don't even understand what the problem is. Some people think that, okay, I'm so frustrated, let me put the papers in the company. That is, what I was trying to say is, we say problem, but most of the people don't know what their exact problem is. I got one of my friends who said he wants to put a paper, and if I asked him, he said the job is very frustrating. And then when I asked him several questions, the root cause is not job at all. The root cause is actually his morning routine. He didn't have a routine at all. That accumulated all the frustration, and he thought that his job is a problem, but the problem is there, somewhere around. So most of the times we are not aware of what we need for ourselves, or what is the exact problem, what is the root cause.
Right. So, root cause analysis, I think, is most important in life, not only
Yes, yes,
in science and engineering.
yes.
And so now, once we have done observation and we have realized what is the root cause of this problem, then what is the next step for self care?
When we find root cause itself, it's an amazing thing because for finding the root cause, it takes a long time. Because I was a coffee addict. I just want to tell my story so that audience can connect very well. I was a coffee addict, and because of coffee addict, I had a hormone imbalance. I tried many diets. I tried many fruits that helped me to balance my hormones, but it's because of coffee it was actually triggering me a lot. And then when I went to a doctor at one point, they said, "Tell me your habits." And like I said, coffee is the first thing that I have in the morning. They said like it shouldn't be the case at least for you. So it was not so tolerable for my body. So we think certain thing and we think that is the solution. But when we go even deep and deep and deep, the root cause will be very simple thing. It could be very simple thing. It seems like a big problem needs a big solution. But trust me, all the big problems need just a simple habit change and that's it.
First of all, I pity you that you cannot drink coffee that much. I mean, without coffee, what is life? But it's
Yeah,
okay that you find out the solution and you change the habit.
yeah.
And one thing that I have noticed myself also that changing habit is not easy because it
It's
takes a lot of
not easy.
energy.
Yes, 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 of course.
And I noticed during this lockdown in past 1 year, what has happened
Hmm.
is that everybody was working from home, and I had a lot of extra energy, and I used that energy to control my diet and control my uh, exponentially gaining weight. And that energy I used positively. I guess. I mean, that's what my
Hmm.
not yeah, that's what my analysis of myself is, because I have been doing this for last 33 for 34 years, whatever I am
Hmm.
doing, but I
Hmm.
suddenly changed. And so changing habit, I get it requires extra energy. And when we are so we have made ourselves so busy, and the life has become so chaotic, this extra energy is getting wasted. I don't know where.
Hmm.
So I guess what you are saying is right, that if one thing I was asking you that changing habit is very difficult, and you said not that difficult. Tell me about it a little bit.
Yeah. Why changing habit is very difficult because our body was used to certain patterns. So, for example, every pattern starts with a thought. For example, we have been trained to, let's take, you drive car, right?
Yeah,
When you drive a car, do you have thinking? Do you think something is, yeah, your
all
car
the
will be
time.
driven automatically. Absolutely. So, if we have two kinds of minds, one is conscious mind and one is the subconscious mind, right? When the conscious mind is involved so much into something creative or it is visualizing something, somehow your body first has to move on, right? Somehow your body first, I mean, your body first has to work, right? That's why we have subconscious mind. So when you are too involved into something, a subconscious mind, which is an auto program, will help your body keep running and make you still breathing. So it's very important. So a subconscious mind cannot put all the energy all the time. It will try to preserve the energy. So that's why when you are trying to cultivate something from conscious mind to subconscious mind, since it has been habituated to some routine, you try to impose a new routine, it will not accept it like that. It will fight with you. Your body will fight with you. Your mind will fight with you. Hey, this is not the Varun that I know. That I know. Why are you putting me something in? So your subconscious mind always needs a reason. So when you're actually putting something in your body, for example, if you're studying to get up at 5 a.m. every day, your subconscious mind, it will not just get up just like that. So it needs a reason from you. It needs a valid reason of why you are actually getting up at 5 a.m. So every time, even now, I am struggling to get up at 5 a.m. even after 1 year of cultivating this habit. So what happens every time when I try to struggle to get out of the bed, I have to reason myself, why am I doing it? And then I have to convince my mind that I'm doing it because I can be healthy. So
Mhm.
I have to convince and convince until it becomes my habit. So once it becomes my habit, it's just you don't need to convince it. For example, brushing our teeth becomes a habit. We have been taught more than 5 or 6 times by our mom and dad. Now nobody is teaching it. It becomes a habit. The subconscious mind is very, very, very powerful than your conscious mind. Because when things become your habit, your thought touches the brain, and the brain create the chemicals throughout the body, and your body will respond based on your thoughts. This is what the science behind every habit. So, for example, when a person is very negative, what happens? If I'm thinking that I'm not worthy, I'm not beautiful, I'm sending the thought that I'm not beautiful to the brain. Now, what will happen is the brain will catch the thought and trigger a feeling all over the body saying that, hey, she has sent a signal saying I'm not beautiful. So send chemicals according to that. Now, when you do that, because according to Dr. Joe Dispenza, when you have a thought, when you have a feeling, for 2 to 3 weeks or so, it is your personality. I mean, it's a temperament or it's a mood. But you
Mhm.
carry out the thought for a long period of time, then it's your personality. So when I think I'm not beautiful for 1 or 2 or 3 years, then it becomes my personality. So break the personality takes a very long time than expected.
I see. So till now, what we have done is that we have done observation, root cause analysis. Now we have started changing our habits, all for
Yes.
self care. But my question is that for me personally, habit is mostly physical thing. And when yesterday I asked you about how do you think self care can be required by a human being, and you said it can be required by anything. It can be required in the form of stress, like emotional stress, or there can be some emotional trauma, some other things. There is also physical care. So we have to care emotionally as well as physically. And it is said that you are as beautiful as you are beautiful inside. So you are as fit as you are fit inside. So let's first talk about emotional care.
Hmm.
So continuing with your point that okay, habits, if you make it a habit and you have to convince yourself to do it again and again and again, but
Okay.
when someone is suffering himself or herself,
Hmm.
how will they be able to convince themselves that okay, I have to change this? Because sometimes there are some people who I personally know and they are my very good friends, and they say that
Hmm.
yeah, they know that there is a vanity going on there inside themselves. Them, they think that they are not so good. They know they are better than what they think of themselves, but it is very difficult to think about it. So, what
Yes.
do you say to these
Absolutely.
people?
I see is when we see social media, when we see any of the platforms, we always want to appear perfect. We have to be perfect. We show only the happy moments in the social media. We don't show the struggles that are, you know, right? Many actors and actors, it will be like living the amazing life when we see the social media, but all of a sudden they commit suicide and pass away. It will be a shock for us. We could have never created that person was actually an unhappy person. The problem is we have been wired, we have been conditioned in a way that we have to only share our happiness to the world because we are fearful of approval. When I share my flaws with the society, I'm really, really afraid, right? Oh my God, what the society is going to say? Oh my God, whether they will respect me, whether they will approve me, whether they will disapprove me. So there are a lot of questions that come to us when it comes to sharing our imperfections. So we have to always appear good. We have to always appear the best. So this is a taboo actually which has to change. See, trust me, nobody can be perfect all the time. Nobody can be that best good all the time. Nobody can be good looking all the time. It depends on the good days and the bad days they have, right? So we have to understand this that nobody is perfect and everybody should take some effort to love themselves in such a way that they can be real no matter what. I want to be authentic. I want to be true to myself is the first commitment that one has to give to themselves because we are trying to hide and run away from our own original character. That's why we are getting frustration. That's why we are getting fear, anxiety, and stress because we are trying to be something that we are not. It could be a force from anybody. It could be a force from parents, or it could be force from spouse, or it could be force from environment, or society, or your job. When you're doing something that you don't like, you obviously get into frustration. So if you need help, coming to your point, if you really need help, there is no problem in opening up. You can open up. Okay, if somebody is judging me, if you can ask me, Divya, what if somebody is judging me? Or if I open up, it's not your problem at all. It's not our problem at all. If somebody judges us for opening up our imperfections, if somebody judges for our look, if somebody judges for our decision, it's not a problem with us, it's a problem with them. We have to understand this.
How to get over vanity when you were giving examples of celebrities and people getting
Hmm.
uh, pressurized by all these celebrities, and
Hmm.
even someone sees someone else's neighbor that or neighbor's kids. I mean, it was a great thing when I was a kid that my mother you always used to say, look at the son of that neighbor who got this much marks and you are a duffer and a donkey and
Yes,
whatnot.
yes, yes,
So
yes.
but this is all vanity because people, why do why do we have to compare ourselves with other human beings? First of all, is
Hmm.
is it because just because the education system is such that you have to have a
Mm.
competition and
Mm.
we are brought up like that, or is vanity, to my viewers, vanity is a thing where you are so self conscious that you do not have independent to do the things what you really like. For example, if I want to wear half shorts, for example, and go to a mall, but I have a vanity that, oh, I will not look good and I have to wear jeans, Gucci jeans or whatever jeans. This is just vanity. It's all very shallow. It is all very hollow, but it is there, and it is in all human beings with different what do you call it, degrees. So, how to get over that vanity, first of all?
First of all, actually, if you ask me, there is nothing to point out in our parents or our ancestors. I mean to say, we have been conditioned this way for billions and billions of years now.
Exactly, it's
So,
culturized.
our ancestors, absolutely, our ancestors and the generation before our ancestors, everybody is stereotyped this way that you have to get married at 23 or 24 and then give birth to your child and you have to give your entire life for the child and then you have to give a good education and everything and you have to be a doctor or engineer. So it's not something that happens only with us. It's a conditioning that is happening from ancestors to ancestors. So they themselves don't know why they are actually doing it. If you ask your parents why they are doing it, they definitely don't have an answer. And if you try to ask them again and again about this, definitely there are chances that they might twist up. So it's a mass conditioning. It's a mass conditioning. When you see the movie Matrix, you'll have it. There is a gang that they will be programming and sending it to another world, and that programming, those people will be living that programming uh, uh, for many years. So this is what is same happening with them. Everybody is conditioned. Everybody is programmed to live in a certain way. But only people who question why should I live the way that I live now. Only if I started questioning our own habits and own beliefs, we have the awareness, and from awareness, definitely we can actually change. So key is the awareness.
I see. And okay, I will come now to you yourself.
Hmm.
Obviously, you were a normal human being. You are Homo sapiens, so you was
Yes.
born just like all of us. So, how did you develop your mindset to think so deeply about self care?
Yes, yes. Yes, it's not just about the one incident, but it was a couple of incidents over a period of time that pushed me that I have to really take care of myself. So when I started my journey in corporate world, I worked as an individual contributor, meaning I did not have anything much to do with the other colleagues. My attitude has nothing to go with the other colleagues. I'll just come, I'll do my job, and 100% and then go back to home. So this was my story. But when I was given the opportunity to become a Scrum Master. I mean, a Scrum Master is a very different term, so I'll put it as a people manager. So when I got into the people management, I was pissed off because at the age of 24 or 25, I don't know exact age where when I get into people management. So it was very difficult for me to observe the mindset of the people because I was very introvert when it comes to people I don't like. I don't talk to them at all. But when it comes to people management, I have to see the people that I don't like. I have to face them every day with happy smile. It was very difficult for me. I couldn't able to do it. So I started reading the book with the help of the books from Dr. Jodison from Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. This was an amazing book. I recommend the viewers to actually read that book. So that book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. So I just wanted to understand how human mind works and why people are the way they are. So that's how my journey started, and then I started developing a lot of awareness over it, and then he's doing the transformation now.
Uh,
As
uh,
like any
just
other human, I
sorry.
was also a condition. As like any other human, I was
Mhm.
also a conditioned human who's trying to break the condition even now.
Yeah, I always have a thinking within myself. I think I was around 20, oh no, 19 or 20 when I woke up and realized that, okay, life is too big to worry about and to waste time. These are two contradicting things. Yeah, but I guess there is always a time when a human being wakes up. And by waking up, I
Mm.
mean that he or she realizes that, okay, I have been doing this particular thing wrong in my life and it is time to change.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
just that some people wake up very quickly when they are kids. Some
Mm.
people wake up like me at the right time that, okay, I am going in out of my parents' roof and now I have to
Mm.
wake up. And some people, they just cannot wake up till it is very late for them. So,
Yeah.
do you think that, as you were saying earlier, that we have to ask ourselves some questions? Have you
Mm.
formularized? I'm a mechanical
Mm.
engineer. I like theorems and I like a set of things. So, do you have
Mm.
any formula or a set of questions which we have or every human
Mm.
being should ask himself or herself that,
Mm.
yeah, these if this question or these answers I cannot give to myself, then I think I have to do introspection again.
Mm. Yeah, of course. The first, I mean, I'll share my questions that I ask. So every day as soon as I get up, I ask myself, are you happy, Divya? Are you happy today? Are you happy, or what is stopping you from being happy? So this is the first question that I ask myself every day. And then the second question, as like Lisa and Coach told, she's a famous motivational speaker. She used to say like, "Do you like yourself, Divya?" So this is the second question that I ask. These two questions will trigger my emotions. And if I'm not happy, I'm very very true to myself, and I say no, I'm not happy, and then I will backtrack. So the journaling, writing diary is very important actually in these cases when we actually have conversations with ourselves. So are you happy? If no, then what? Then what is triggering? Why? What are the action items that I can take? So the action items should be broke down into smaller pieces. It shouldn't be so big because we will never take action at all if it's so big. So we have to start with even small. Small like okay, let me ask the next step. If the next step is just to get up at 5 a.m. or if the next step is uh, uh, just cut down my social media timing of 20 minutes to 15 minutes, we have to start slower. We shouldn't be so aggressive or so rush on ourselves that one day we will end up doing everything that we thought we should not do it. So it's just a start slow. The transformation that I have come through is not just something that happened overnight. It took a lot of time. It's an effort of more than 6 years that we are seeing now. And it's gonna be forever. It's on a forever commitment, and there is no destination I can say that I have attained that. It's gonna be forever. We have to be patient. The first thing is we have to be patient with ourselves in this process, and then we have to start loving ourselves, including our flaws, including our flaws. I mean, including our imperfections. You see, there are days where I don't get up at 5 a.m. at all. Even after cultivating this habit, there are days that I fall back in my old pattern and I had all the rights to go mad on myself. But I don't do that. It's okay. It's okay if I don't get up at 5 a.m. I'll just try to ask myself why. And then it's something that I can do with the alternative of that. How can I make that 5 a.m.? I used to go walking by 5 a.m. If I can't able to do it, I get up at 6 a.m. and then I'll calm down. Okay, I have missed it. What next I can do it? Okay, 6 a.m. now. Can I go for a walking now? No. It's okay. Let me get into the treadmill or something. So I'll always have a plan B and I don't look for perfection from myself. This is a total freedom. This is a total freedom when you stop looking for perfection within you. If you just start accepting yourself as you are, and when you accept yourself, including your flaws, owning your flaws, owning the responsibility for your flaws, you can actually start loving yourself. Loving ourselves is not a big deal. It's just accepting ourselves completely as we are, including our flaws and imperfections. That's it.
Out of this, uh, I two questions pop up in my mind. I will ask the first one. There are some people like me. I lie to myself a lot.
Mm.
Apparently, by luck or by anything, I lie myself positively because I keep on
Mm.
telling myself you are awesome, and
Mm.
that way I am more happier or more at peace with myself. If I try to criticize myself, then probably I will not be so much happier. Sometimes at night before
Yeah.
sleeping, I said, okay, yeah, what the hell you are doing? But otherwise, I'm
Yes.
just lying to myself all the time. But what
Yes.
about those people who lie to themselves and are criticizing themselves a lot?
No. So what we think is, when it comes to criticism, we think welcoming the criticism is the sign of a broad mindset. So if we start criticizing ourselves, we should be ready that the world will also start criticizing ourselves, because we are just, the world is just a reflection of what's going inside. If I love myself, I'm setting the standards for the world to love me the way that I love myself. If I start hating myself, then I'm setting up the standard for the world to hate myself, to hate me in the same way how I hate myself. So it's, everything is from within. So if I love myself to such an extent that I don't allow anybody to make a naysaying on me or to make pass a mean comment on me, then they are eventually out of my boundary. They are eventually out of my circle. So it's very important that at any cost, I have to love myself.
I see. And the second question, which is obviously related to this, is that all what we are talking from last 15-20 minutes, these are all words. And
Hmm.
for some people, these will be always words. They will listen to it for
Hmm.
10 minutes. They will be like, wow, awesome. I will change my life. After one day, they will say, I cannot do it. Or they will just
Hmm.
altogether forget it.
Hmm.
It happens with me. I am sure it happens with you too. It happens with
Hmm.
everybody. People are
Yes, yes,
very gajini with words.
yes,
So, how to cultivate this habit of habitualizing these words in your life?
yes. So it's a very big challenge when you don't have a supportive environment at all. I mean, the environment, including your parents, your friends, kind of community you have, the kind of people that you have conversation with, the kind of people that you talk to, everything, what you see, what you hear, everything have a greatest impact on you. When I actually got into the self-care, the first thing that I did is I unsubscribed or unfollowed every account in social media that is not going to serve me any better at all. That was the first thing that I did. My social media account actually looked very empty. And then I consciously took effort to follow certain people who can actually give me the good content and the good motivation that I need for the day. So now I have mind what I have to see and what I have to hear, because I have taken account of everything. And the next step is your circle, your parents and your friends. Obviously, we can't change both of them immediately, and it's not really required that you have to abandon your parents. That's not what I'm trying to say. If your parents are in certain way, you have to understand why they are the way.
Hmm.
Rather than fighting with them, hey, I'm trying to get up at 5 a.m. I have to go for a walk. Why are you not supporting me? Can you give me some encouragement? No, that's not how this is going to work. You have to understand, okay, you are not interested in that 5 a.m., but I'm interested. I'm responsible for my own thing. Let me find a community that is actually going to help me on that. So find a community, either it's online, that's fine. Because technology is so powerful and it can impact us in many ways. So we shouldn't be completely away from technology, but we can use the technology for the good things. We have many apps that helps us monitor the steps that we take, our heartbeats, and everything, right? With the help of that, we can create a reminder in our calendar that hey, you have to get up here at 5 a.m. Prepare for it, or something like that. So, with the help of technology, the community, and making new friends who are actually in the part of fitness or health, I'm just taking one area of self-care and just saying it. So, if you have somebody who is into fitness or health conscious, you can have a conversation with them. So but slowly you are imposing all this new habits into your subconscious mind. So it all starts with small things.
I see. So, to summarize this all algorithm of self care, I would say that obviously it's a journey, it,
Yes, it's a
it's a
journey.
lifestyle thing. Then, first
Yes,
of to start it, you have to observe it,
yeah,
whatever is going on. Then you have to do a root cause analysis, that
yes,
what is creating the problem, and to remove that
yeah.
problem you have to habitualize certain things. And
Mm,
last but not the least, and I think the most important thing, is surrounding yourself with the positive, constructive, and
people.
people who are helpful to you in that environment.
Very, very, very important. I think the last thing is very important because no matter how hard you try to change the habits and no matter how hard you change it, but when you have not so welcoming people around you, then you will fall back to the pattern again. So it's very important to what kind of people you hang out with, what is that you see, what is that you hear.
Great.
All takes a big contribution in your life.
My my question was same. How do you stop yourself from falling back?
Yeah, I cannot stop it. I want to be very honest. I have called back many times, but since I learned the art of self care. I mean, art of self care is nothing but I'm learning my imperfections as well as equally as how I love my perfections. So when I fall back, obviously I have this online mentors. I used to look into how what Jay Shetty is doing or what Nathan Nichols, Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, and there are Dr. Shikali, holistic psychologists, and a lot of people who are into this writing online. It is not necessary that you have to have somebody who's sitting near you, holding your hand and say, hey, you have to do this, you have to do that. It's not really necessary. Somebody who's somewhere at the end of the earth can impact you is what they do. So since I had or I consciously took the decision to follow such kind of people, it is easy for me to get back into the track. Even if I don't do that, what I see or what I hear will make me get back into the track.
I see. So the solution for falling back is restart, I guess. Start
Yeah.
again. And
Start
one
again.
day,
The more you have experience, you don't need to feel like, oh my god, I'm restarting. No, it's not the case. Since if you
exactly.
have experience, when I started, it took me 6 years. But for to restart me, it took matter of 2 to 4 hours. That's it. So now you have experience, so you don't need to really worry about restarting again at all. You will come
I
back to where you have left out.
Yeah. You will not restart from the same point again and again.
Yes, 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 yes.
Awesome. So
I mean, at least from the scratch.
I guess that all this journey of self care is ignored by most of the people.
Yeah.
They they just have a mindset, or what do you call it,
Mm,
obsession to run after something. Mostly
mm,
99% of India runs after money.
mhm,
I, I understand it. I mean, I also do the same thing. I'm not someone else, but
mm,
uh, running after money, people do not spend much time in self care. But
mm,
self care is, as you said, is a journey to certain thing,
mm,
and that is self growth.
mm,
So please explain to the viewers and me particularly what is
mm.
self growth and how is it different from self care.
Actually, self-care and self-care both are synonyms of each other, so there is no such difference as such. But I want to clear one thing, like running behind money is not a problem at all. But what I'm trying to say is, if we take care of ourselves so well, we can earn money more than what we are doing now, right? If you take care of yourself, it doesn't mean that it's not just about physical. If I take care of my physical and emotional well-being, think about this. I'm doing meditation for a long time. I mean, at least for 1 year now. So Divya before meditation and Divya after meditation, I can actually separate my life like that. Because when I started doing meditation, I started becoming more mindful and more practicing more stillness. So when I'm practicing more stillness and more mindful and being in the present moment, I have the chance to take my decisions very right. So if I take the right decision, then obviously I'm going to attract the right opportunities, right? So we think self-care is a different concept that has nothing to do with the materialistic realm that we are living in. But both are interlinked. If my physical and emotional and well-being, imagine if I have a fever for 5 days, can I be able to earn money for my family? Definitely not. I'll be in debt, right? So people are thinking that money is different and self-care is different. But understand that if you actually take care of your physical and emotional well-being very well, you can do or you can earn money effortlessly just with the flow.
I see. So what you are saying can be directly related to the physical world, that if you take care of your car, have good
Yes.
maintenance and put
Yeah.
castrol oil in it. Castrol people, So yeah, I just give an ad. But yeah, if you do it, then probably you will get reach your destination faster and safer.
Yes, yes, yeah,
Awesome.
yes.
And this one thing which you word you use is mindfulness. I am
Mm,
hearing this word quite a lot nowadays. Maybe in last 1 year, even it is
mm,
bombarding from every direction. So what is it?
mm.
Mindfulness.
Mindfulness is even if I brush my teeth, I have to be aware that I'm actually brushing my teeth. If I brush my teeth and look somewhere and thinking something, that's not mindfulness. Mindfulness is nothing but being in the present moment, being present with your body and mind fully in the present moment. That's what mindfulness is all about.
And how does it help? And what are the good things coming out of that strategy?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, imagine this situation when you have been creative, or what are the ways that you have been so creative.
Huh. When I'm creative, probably I am in front of pen and paper, and that's it, I guess. And just thinking about something and write down there. That's what my process is.
Absolutely. So thinking, right? Thinking. Thinking. So from thinking is our life created. You are in the podcast now because you thought that you wanted to do a podcast. So everything in our life starts with the thinking, right? I wanted to do engineering and so I did engineering. I wanted to take computer science group, so I did computer science group. So everything starts with the thinking. But when you become more mindful, your thinking will enhance your thought. So when you're thinking enhance a lot, it is directly proportional to your life is going to enhance. So everything that starts from thinking and when you actually maintain the stillness, calm, composed mind, you can think even more with higher clarity. See, when we are into frustration, when we are into stress, when we are into anxiety, we don't think at all. We'll be simply like a fight or like, like we will be just sitting thinking that there is a tiger in front of us trying to attack us. That's what our mind thinks when we are in actually frustration or stress or anxiety. It thinks, okay, something is coming to attack us, let me shut down the immune. So that's what actually happens when we are in anxiety or stress. But when you're free, when you feel that you're safe, you're good, and you are grateful for what you have, you become so creative by mind. When your mind is so creative, obviously your thinking will be creative. And if your thinking is creative, you can generate good ideas. And when you generate good ideas, you implement it into action. When you implement into action, there comes success. So everything is force is thought. So to maintain the thought, to fine tune the thought, you have to be mindful.
It sounds so simple, but I know it is very difficult to internalize this mindfulness thing.
Absolutely. That's why I have a hack. So first thing is every day I used to do meditation. That's a different story. Meditation helps me to practice stillness and be empathetic and be compassionate. That's a different story. But whenever I feel I'm out of track, I just use the 2 minutes or 1 minute track. If you give me permission, I will show that how to do. It's just mindfulness is just 5 to 10 deep breaths a day. What I'll do is I'll inhale deeply through my nose and exhale very slowly through my mouth. It's like that. Like so if you repeat this for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you're back to the present moment right now, right away, with your body and your mind in the current situation. So whenever you take any decision, whenever you feel stressed, or whenever you feel anxiety, whenever you have to take some decision, or even if you wanted to do the podcast, or you feel so nervous or whatever it is, when you do this technique, just for 5 or 6 minutes, you get back to the present moment. And when you get back to the present moment, your thought will have utmost clarity. And when your thoughts have utmost clarity, you will have amazing results.
I see. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm always nervous starting and ending the podcast because I don't know what to say. I always fumble on words. I will try. Yeah, I will try it. So, uh, again, whenever I have this type of podcast, I ask the guest always one thing because it is the most important question in my life personally.
Hmm.
And what is happiness for you?
Happiness for me is right now. I mean, for me, happiness is a trend. When I was really struggling financially, happiness was to have money, at least to have a basic living. So And then when I got into a good job with an amazing pay, I got stressed. So happiness for me is to eliminate the stress. Now happiness for me is maintain stillness. Maintain stillness. Be in the present moment. Is what I wanted to do. Because I know, as I know that we are all running programs all the time, that we are living the programs that is imposed by the society, by the culture, by the parents, or whoever it is. Uh, so I want to be so aware of the programs and rewrite the program with what serves me good. I think self-care is my happiness.
Awesome. Huh. And this line, it's I don't know. I know this is true, but what you said, I have heard this formulation of happiness is a trend. I think I have heard this for the first time. I
Okay.
always heard
Yeah.
people saying
Okay.
that happiness is a
Happiness is a
choice.
trend. Problems is a trend.
I
You
see.
know, when you're in eighth standard, your problems will be to clear that math paper, right?
It's still now. I still am afraid of math. So
Yeah. So, but anyway, you have come out of that and you got a good, amazing degree, I guess. So that problem makes sense to you now, right? So now your
no.
problems are very different. Maybe because you wanted to get another guest for
Hmm.
the podcast, or whatever your problem may be. So the problems are actually trendy based on the age, based on the environment, based on the condition that we are in. The problems comes in, and when you move away from this condition to other condition, the problems will be different. So problems are always trendy in our life, like happiness. So we have to be aware that for this problem that comes and then fade away, comes and fade away, do we really want to be so harsh and being so controlling over ourselves, or just hating ourselves in the situation of the problem, and then the problems fade away, then we'll be like, oh my god, the problem has gone. So this has become our pattern every day. They will have a different problem. One of my friends, he thought that he will be happy once he buy a car. He got a car. He was happy, literally happy for 10 days. But after that, he got back into the same pattern of complaining everything. And then he
Hmm.
saw another friend, he got an iPhone. He bought an iPhone. He thought he'll be happy after that. And then he was actually enjoying taking pics, going for a ride. But after that, it happened. After it doesn't last long. After 10 days, again he's back to the same pattern. So happiness is a state of being. We think happiness is one of the emotions. Love is an emotion, but it's not an emotion state. I can be lovable. I can be happy. Just the minute I choose to be happy. If I choose now to be happy, I can be happy. Irrespective of whether I have a problem or not, it's a different story. But if I choose that thought, whether I can be happy or not,
Oh.
I can be happy, right?
I don't know. I am struggling with happiness right now. I am confused. Most of the time, I am happy. I don't care about problems for too long. I
Okay.
don't stress myself with problems for too long. I
Mm,
distance myself. But still, I
mm,
am not myself sure about what is happiness for me. This trend thing, what you are saying, it's okay. But uh, I think for me, I am building happiness, and I have to. And yeah, as I might have said already, my favorite comics was Calvin and Hobbes. You might have read
mm,
it. Calvin was is a small kid, and Hobbes is his stuffed tiger, but he is also his imaginary friend. And Calvin always says that happiness is not enough for him. He wants
mm,
euphoria,
mm,
and I am not able to understand what my happiness is, and that's why I'm not able to reach euphoria. So this is why I always
mm,
ask people like you, because probably someone give can help me get my euphoria somehow. So
mm.
that's how I think.
Yeah. So uh, I can give you one way to feel happy right away. Just close your eyes and imagine five things that you're grateful about. Five things today you're grateful about.
Okay,
You're deeply grateful about.
yeah.
So how do you feel now? The five things that you're grateful about.
Oh, I have to feel. Hmm.
What are
I,
five things?
apart from first two, I don't feel grateful. Much grateful about the last two.
Yeah, yeah. Gratefulness is something that I can be grateful for even You see, if you take my gratefulness story, I'm grateful even for silly things. Yeah, I'll be grateful. Oh my God, the fan is turned on. I'm so grateful. And then, okay, today I have a good food. I having a good clothing to wear. I have a healthy food to eat in my table. And then I can walk on the road. My body is taking care of myself. Well. My mind is taking care of myself well. The mother nature is taking care of myself well. So happiness is directly related to gratefulness. Whatever are the things that you're grateful for will make you happy. So the problem here is we are not grateful at all. We are always worrying on one or the other thing that is detaching ourselves from gratefulness. So if we are not able to see what's in our plate, and if we always see the other person, hey, look at that guy, look at that guy, he's earning that much. Look at this guy, he has million followers. Look at this guy. So we are not enjoying what's in our plate, and we are always seeing others' plate. That's the reason some of the people are not happy at all. More than happy. Now, some of the reason are not feeling content because we are always used to see the other people. So every day, if we want happiness, we have to write 10 things or at least 15 things that we are grateful for. When we are grateful, when we are in a state of gratefulness, we will be obviously happy.
Hmm, I see. No, I agree with your point because when you are mindful, you get also a chance to be grateful too. Because sometimes we take
Yeah.
everything for granted. Because the first two
Mm-hmm.
things which I thought which I am grateful and will always be, was first of all my health and second is my family. That's it. Apart from that, everything
Mm-hmm.
else I can make it up, build up, or buy again. I can get a new job. I can start something else, whatever. So these first two
Mm-hmm.
things, yeah, these are necessary things. But if I am grateful to everything, probably I don't know still about happiness, but I will enjoy more maybe.
Exactly. Exactly.
Awesome.
So
Uh,
when we cultivate the mind of gratefulness, happiness is it's a side effect. Happiness is a good side effect of a grateful mind. We don't need to really care about happiness like I want to be happy. No. If we try to practice gratefulness, and happiness will come eventually.
I think I cannot say lowest point. I mean, I'm awesome. My life is awesome, but the lowest point in my life till now was last 1 year when everybody of us were locked at home and we didn't knew what is happening. I mean, the uncertainty level of life was as less as 3 or 4 days because you
Yeah.
still don't even know that you can go out and buy milk or not. The government will tell
Mm-hmm.
in next four, so you cannot plan ahead of 4 days.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in that form of uncertainty, I got
Mm.
frustrated. I got a little bit depressed and irritated.
Okay.
Yeah, the output of all that was that I got irritated. I mean, I was proud of myself that I never got angry. I have no anger issues.
Mm-hmm.
People can say
Amazing.
anything, and I said, okay, I am Bhagwan Ram, and I can just ignore you and smile. But after this irritation thing started happening with me, and I'm not proud of it. And yesterday, when we were
Mm-hmm.
having that chat, you said that yeah, it is a big problem. So tell me about that. Aha, this what do you call it?
Dynamic thing, right?
Mm, Irritation. How does it happen, and why does it happen, and how to get rid of it again?
Okay. So, I mean, when it comes to pandemic, everybody is helpless. Everybody has the low days. Everybody has the days. Because we lost human connection, right? We were so used to, at least I'm being a corporate woman, I always used to hang out with my friends and have this uh, uh, time for break and then have some good snacks. So when I actually got out of it, and see, nobody has been used to this pandemic, right? It's just a once in a lifetime hit. So this is so new to us, so we don't know how to actually handle that. So even I was stumbling like anything. Oh my god, I'm going to be sitting at home for a long time. Actually, I enjoyed in the first 15 days, but post that, I couldn't be able to enjoy that at all. It's very, very difficult. And yeah, to answer it, low days and high days are part of life. Either you create a good habit or you don't create a good habit or not. That's a different story. But low days and high days are part of life. But how can this habit can help us in this low days is we actually cultivate a good habit. There's a proverb, there is a saying this is first you have to make the habit and then the habit will make you.
Hmm.
So if I have a good habit, I in the low days it will facilitate me. It will facilitate me to just peacefully sit in a rose petal. If I don't have a good habit, then it's like it will push me into the thorns. There, the already hurt soul will get hurt even more. So that habit will facilitate you during your low days. So when I have a low days, what I'll do is I'll try to go for a walk in the terrace where I feel so connected with the skies and the stars. So it will soothe my heart so that I can feel better for a while. So there are a lot of things that we can do even if it's low days. We have to accept that it's a low day and then we have to do things that makes us to push that away. And I think have played a greater role there. And then I do
Hmm.
meditation. I do meditation no matter how many hours it will take. In my low days, it's not like other happy days. In happy days, I'll just do meditation for 40 minutes or 45 minutes. But in low days, I'll do meditation until I feel better. Until I feel better. I'll just close my eyes until all the thoughts will become zero down. And then once I feel better, I'll get up. So I facilitate my low days.
What should I say? As you were saying, you are a corporate woman. I will come to your other expertise a little bit later. I'm quite curious about that too because I'm a curious person. But since you do this and you do that also, I mean, you do both the things. You have mindfulness, you do meditation, you do take self
Mm,
care, and then you
mm,
have this job too, which I know it's quite challenging and demanding at the start.
mm,
The
mm.
habit will become. So, how do you take care of both? What is your work life balance? Should I say it work life balance? I don't know. What do you call it? How do you maintain the balance?
Yeah. See, most of the time I don't find time at all. I don't find time. If we actually find time, we will never find it at all. I can assure you. But we can make time. There's a difference between finding time and making time. I don't find time at all, so I make time. I get up, uh, by 5:30 or 5 a.m. It depends on what the time is that I go to sleep. So I get up and I dedicate a good morning routine just to take care of myself. So when I actually get into laptop, I ensure that I already had a good, amazing note physically, emotionally, so that I can actually jump into laptop. So it all comes with the morning routine. I can share my morning routine and how I do this. I get up at 5:30 and then as soon as I get up, I drink plenty of water. And then I pray God, saying that thank you so much for giving me one more day to live. And I'm so grateful that I'm very healthy. I can walk just for those things. And then I go and walk in the park along with the trees and amazing plants and then birds. So I just spend time there and then I'll come back and I'll do pranayama, the breathing exercises, and then I do meditation for a while and then I come back and read personal growth books and then I start my day. So how we start our day, we decide how productive we will be for the entire day. So it's all the morning routine.
Yeah, I think I said it already, but you do the same thing. You take care of the car first, and then you reach your destination easily
Yeah.
and happily.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I
With
see.
the flow at least. When we don't take care of the car, we will be in resistance. We will be resistance all the time. Because you want to achieve, let's say somebody wants to achieve a financial happiness, somebody wants to achieve a relationship, good relationship. But if their inner voice is telling that you're not enough, you're not healthy, you're not beautiful, you're not worthy, come on, how a person will achieve what they wanted to achieve? Because the enemy within is doing harm to you because there is a thought that says, right, like enemy outside can do no harm if the enemy within does no harm to you, right? So if the enemy within is harming me, I cannot go faster with the flow and I have to fight with me in every stage. Every stage
Hmm.
I have to fight with my worthiness. Every stage I have to fight to prove that I'm beautiful. Every stage I have to fight that I deserve to be loved. So if I keep on spending my time on fighting, then when I will be creating the life that we want, right? So to create the life we want, first we have to work on ourselves and be ready. I'm ready to receive all the abundance. I'm ready to receive love. I'm ready to receive health. I'm ready to receive wealth because I deserve it. If we have this mindset, we start attracting a lot of things, but it will push us into that way. So going with the flow is so easy than going against the flow. When we go against the flow, it needs a lot of energy because it's in the resistance mode. But when we go with the flow, it's in the it's in the way of the current, right? So it's so easy to go. But when we actually want to go with the flow, we have to work on ourselves. There is no escapism out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these things are so easy to understand, but so easy to implement. I constantly think about it while you are saying these things. But I guess the viewers maybe first of all you can start observing what is pestering you in life, big or small. Like she always gives this example of waking up at 5 o'clock. I don't think it's the biggest of the problem, but I think it's easiest of the habit we can all start. So yeah, let's move from this to the other part of your life. So
Yeah.
yeah, introduce yourself again professionally and explain to the viewers that what you actually do and what is this agile thing, what is Scrum, and so on.
Yeah, so the Agile and Scrum is part of Agile is a philosophy where Scrum is a process that's been used by so many organizations around the world for dealing with deliveries, for dealing with milestones, for dealing with giving the product to the customer. So it's a process oriented. Scrum is a process in the philosophy of Agile. So I work as a Scrum Master where I mind the process and I mind the people's mindset and then enable them to give the right product, enable their mindset, help them. So this is what I do as part of my job.
And what is agile then? What is the philosophy of agile, and how is it better and different from the previous philosophy of product management or product development?
Yeah, Agile is just get adapted to change rapid and fast. That's it. So being open, being flexible, adapt to changes then and there without resisting it too much. And so when we actually do that, we will be so fast in being resilient. And there is a problem with the product that we deliver, and if we want to be quickly adapt to different process or changes, agile is a mindset. So it's a philosophy that helps us to deal with problems quickly at the same time with more efficient way.
And why why is this uh, expertise called as Scrum Master, and what should one have to do to become a Scrum Master? I think people
Yeah.
want some people want to do this, become an agile coach or become a Scrum Master, and they
Mm.
have been doing jobs for quite a long now in other fields. So what should they
Mm.
have to do?
Actually, they have to first understand the Scrum process, and then Scrum Master is more or less to do with people management and soft skills. So they have to be so passionate about helping people, and then a certification is enough. There are a lot of institutes that give certification on that, and once the certification is done, they can actually move to the role by applying jobs.
So, I mean, anybody can do a certification. What is this process for this certification? I mean, you have to apply somewhere, you have to give some
Uh,
entrance exams, or
No,
what?
no, no. You can just Google the institute that provides certification, and you have to enroll the workshop that they give, and then write the exam, and then clear it, and then you're ready.
And how much is it? I mean, I personally know that, yeah, being agile is a fad right now. I should not call it a fad. It's a necessity right now because
Yeah.
everything in this whole world is quite dynamic and people have to change on snaps.
Yeah.
So, does this becoming an agile scrum master, did this help you in some ways of what we were talking previously also?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Because it's all about people management, and when I have to get into people management, I have to actually mean what I say. Means managing the people right in the right way without hurting them, giving them the right direction. It's all a responsibility. So for that responsibility, for the skill set, I have to match my attitude as well. So I was
Mhm.
just relying upon all the good people, manager works, so that I can match or do justice for what I do.
And how interesting is this becoming a Scrum Master?
Yeah, because it's it's helping me in my life as well, right? If I learn about people and the different mindsets, how to handle them, it's just helping me to handle people in my life as well. So I don't see this role and my life as a different thing. Everything is
Mhm.
entangled.
It's quite interesting that apparently you do people management and you are quite interested in helping people,
Yeah,
obviously, and
yeah.
also this self care and self growth is quite necessary in today's corporate environment too, because yeah, as you were talking earlier, that people are not so happy after, especially after this pandemic happened. And people
Yes.
have staying when people stayed home, they have realized that what actually life is, because when they missed a lot of things. Yeah,
Mm,
it is the same thing that when you do not have something, you start understanding the value of that thing.
mm,
And when people just were doing jobs or work for their company the whole day, since morning they wake up till the time they sleep because they have nothing to do, they realize that how much they love life and how much they miss life. Do
yeah.
you have? I mean, this is my last question for you. Is a lot of positive come came out in people after this pandemic, considering how they started valuing their life and
Mm,
understanding what is important in their life.
yes.
So, do you think that this will help in future, especially in India? Because in India, everybody knows work-life balance is like being a diva or something.
Yes.
There is no
Yes.
there is no notion of work-life balance in India,
Mm,
unfortunately. But do you
mm.
think some positive will come out of this pandemic after
Yes. Yes.
everything becomes
Yes.
normal?
Yeah, for some time. For some time, again, we don't fall back into the pattern. As I said, if we started fall back into the pattern of habits, for example, when after the lockdown, if we are not mindful of conscious about it, and again, if we fall back to the pattern of 9 to 9 work or something, then we are just going to be the same way we started again. So it's not just about valuing it now, but it is about taking the value no matter what forever. So it takes conscious decisions from us. We have to commit to ourselves to in such a degree of or to such an extent that no matter whatever happens, I'm going to maintain this lifestyle. So it's a commitment.
Awesome. What is your plans for your future? I mean, there is a lot of things to do in
Yeah.
life. So, what's your plan?
So what my dream or my future is I wanted to get full time with personal growth and then help people on personal growth, help people to understand that transforming themselves will transform everything around them. So right now I'm doing it in part time, but my dream is over the period of time I want to do it in full time.
Yeah, I wish you all the best, and I know with time you will find new ways and not one, maybe multiple hacks for
Yeah.
that. So
Yes.
all the very best for the future, and probably yeah, please come back again whenever you feel like that you have something else
Sure.
to tell me. That
Sure.
just drop me a
Sure.
message, and then we can have a
Sure.
conversation again.
Sure.
So before closing this podcast, anything else you want to say to the viewers? Then we
Yeah,
can
yeah,
close.
I mean, we had a good conversation, and we have discussed many things that we have to actually discuss for the well-being of the people. My last message would be like nothing is so important in life than the physical and emotional well-being. So if we have a good inner work of physical and emotional well-being, we have everything in life. It is so easy to get everything in life if we have this. But if we don't have this, it is very difficult to get the other external or materialistic things that we focus on. So always focus on your physical and emotional well-being, and that's it.
Great, I think and that is very important and the most important thing. life.
Yeah.
Life is very important. We just have to understand how important it is. We do not do. Anyways, yeah, please follow her. I will drop down her links in the descriptions and follow her on social media. And probably we can just drop down some posts and ask her questions if you want. And write down in the comments below what do you think about our conversation today. And you have some special questions or some other views. Yeah, very it's welcome to put it down in the comments and I would reply it personally. I do not have anything to do anyway. So, yeah. So, thank you. And thank you, Divya, for coming to this podcast. And
Thank
hope to
you
see you
so
again.
much. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I had a nice time to retrospect my own life. So thank you so much once again. I'm so grateful.
Awesome. So, with that, please like, share, and subscribe and all that jazz. And yeah, bye bye.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.